Hey Mustangs, this is Miss Flores here in the art room, getting ready to show you how to create one of these. We are going to have our project be a bit larger, as you can see, than this one. This I did for a project last year that involved the mail, so I made it fit the envelope. And this was the template I used for this one. This is a little bit more complex, and you have the option to do this as well. However, we're going to start with something a little simpler. And so this will be our template. You need a ruler and a Sharpie, although you can also use an ink pen and anything with a straight edge. I actually used a piece of paper so I could make this very mobile. I was traveling, and so I was just doing it on the paper, very small size. So I'm going to use a Sharpie. You want something that leaves a nice solid line. Pencil would be fine, but then you have to go trace back over. And you really want that bold line for when you start coloring it to keep it clear. That way it stands out in this way. So first things first, we're going to get started. You have a choice. You can divide it up this way and make your angles this way, or you can divide it this way. Real simple, easy way to find the middle of your paper. And if it's in your sketchbook, you can also measure it since you have a ruler to divide it in half. Your sketchbook, based on the one you have, 12, half of that is 6, so it's fairly simple. Then I'm going to trace that line. Whatever you are using as your edge, just know that your Sharpie will get on it. So if it's your favorite book or something of your parents, I do recommend that you get permission before using it. A thick piece of paper works really well. And it doesn't matter if you go over that. So you see I divided this in half into 2 triangles using a diagonal line. So we've used a vertical or horizontal, whichever way you've got your paper. And we've got a diagonal line here. Remember, we're focusing on our lines. And another diagonal line here. And then you divide this triangle up, coming from that corner. It doesn't have to be exact. And then you're going to divide it from this corner as well. The angle might be a little different. I kind of lined up this edge of the ruler to make it off balance in that way. So as you can see from this template, I have an arrow. That is going to create the direction that you are going to make your lines. So I'm going to go up versus going out this way. It helps the pattern look more accurate in the end. So what you're going to do is start from the point. Don't come out from it. You want to start from the point and create an angled line. You can keep it super skinny. I wouldn't do that skinny. You'll be doing this for days. Somewhere around in this area. And then you just make that line. The next line comes from this point. I try to keep the width here somewhat similar, and you'll see as you go why. It helps give that really neat illusion. And then we'll do this. If you're going to adjust to here, make sure that your ruler is still at the point here. Sometimes you lose that point. And then you just repeat. It's a very simple, they say it's very zen-like, calming. I enjoy doing it. You can do it while watching TV, listening to me on a Zoom. Don't really do that. And then you go all the way around that triangle. And I'm just going to do this one so you see that finished product. And as you can see, I made mine pretty wide, but the more you keep them similar here, the better off you'll be. You can also turn your paper. And keep your ruler the same. It's whatever's comfortable for you. If you are doing this in my art room, though, make sure you have something underneath your paper. And you should be doing it in your sketchbooks. You should have them by now. But if not, I'll have given you a piece of paper. and so on and so forth. When you get small, it can be a little tricky. And you really want to keep that pattern, or else you kind of lose it in the middle. And if you've continued to watch this all the way through to the end, you will know how to finish that triangle off. Because if you're anything like me and I get it, I'll just start doing it, which is fine. You'll begin to start to see a shape that repeats.
Please come to my office. Thank you.
And so as long as you keep that shape, even in here, keeping that triangular shape to finish off. See how you've then made a triangle? If you lose that shape when you're making your points, it will look odd in the center. So that's how you do it. I'm going to finish this and then have a finished piece on your page so you can see what the demonstration looks like finished.